Hello everybody and welcome back to the Snapthis channel, and today we're going to do something very exciting and we're going to have a look at all the features on Snapchat and we're going to put them into a tier list. Now I've seen tier list videos on YouTube on every topic and I thought there isn't probably one on Snapchat, so this is what I'm going to do today. Look at all the features that are currently in the application and some that have actually been removed and rank them into S down to D to see where I would put these features that are in the Snapchat application. This is a personal opinion video, so if you have any problems with my decisions, then let me know in the comment section below and tell me what you would put in the S and what you'd put in the D, because it would be interesting to see what you think of my opinion of the Snapchat application. So here is my custom tier list that I've made myself. It took way longer than expected, but we've put some features in here that you probably don't even know about in the Snapchat application as well, so it might shine a light on some things that you should start using if you want to be a pro Snapchatter like myself. Now on the tier list, I've split it up into camera controls, which you can see here. Then we've got basic functions like streaks and messages. We've got Snap Map, the games. So we've covered a wide variety of what Snapchat has on the application and not just the core features that everybody uses on the application. You can see that we got S down to D, so obviously S being the best, D being not the worst, but probably not what you'd rank at the top. I'm not trying to say there are bad features in Snapchat in this video, I'm just literally showing you what I use and where I'd put it in terms of importance on the application. I have noticed there are a few missing, and that is just because this website that I'm using, not to diss them, was very difficult to get the pictures on. I'm not too sure why. So the spectacles aren't on there, which I'd probably put in the S anyway. They're a fantastic product that Snapchat make, and stories seems to not be in the list either. So looking at the list, what we've got so far, we've got the camera controls, so we're going to go through those. Let's pick on something that we know has got to be up there in the A tier, which I'm going to say is text. I think Snapchat would not be Snapchat without the captions. It's a great way to communicate with people without saying it in the video, and if you're sending photos, they are the life and soul of it. So I'm not going to say it's, S, but I'm going to put it there with the A's. Same pen tool. I mean, it's a bit outdated nowadays. You can argue. I don't see many Snapchats nowadays with the pen tool on, so I'm going to go for C category. It's still part of Snapchat, but I don't see many people using it. I tried to integrate it with one of my lenses once, but it never kicked off. Multi-snap, I'm going to say, is an A feature. If you've not used multi-snap, it's very good when you're taking a lot of Snapchats in a short space of time. So you don't have to keep snapping and then add it to your story. You just snap, 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 and then go back through and add captions and lenses and filters after. The scissors, I'm going to put it at a B. I don't use this very often, but I must say it was definitely a fun thing that Snapchat added. These are what the scissors do. They make custom stickers from snaps or even pictures from your camera roll. Let's go for a D. The focus feature, I think this is an iPhone only feature, also with the 3D feature. I think they're great, but they're more just gimmicks to keep up with these, well, not just the social media world. That one was to show that it can do what the iPhone can do in portrait mode. I loved it. It was a great feature, but I've not used it since the update came out. So if you use focus, sorry if I've offended you, but it's just not something I've used very often. What else could I say? The music, I'm going to put it with a B. Again, I don't do Spotlight professionally like some of the other guys do, and obviously the music side of things does help, but again, it was a good addition. It's helped make videos that have got awful sound decent, that just gives you that little bit of oomph in the video, but again, I'm going to say a B grade category. Streaks, I'm picking on something else now. I'm going to say streaks is, I want to say S, but I'm going to put it A for the time being. I'm going to see what I put into the S category before I start delving into those. Now, yes, it sounds bad that I'm putting streaks so high, but you've got to think what makes Snapchat what it is. A lot of people do streaks to get people to engage on the application, and the streaks that I've had, which I've sadly lost now, they were decent. We used to send snaps that were so random, they weren't just streaks, it was literally we're dedicating Snapchats daily to each other. And I think it was a good way of communicating, especially in the current circumstances of 2020 and 2021. You all probably know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm going to put streaks in the A. It's probably a good decision, but S, I'm going to stick the blue messages up there. I must say, when this was released, which I think was 2015, The messages was a game changer for Snapchat. It brought the chat into the Snapchat. So for me, that is an S category rating. Without it, I don't think I'd use Snapchat as much. Obviously, yes, you're meant to take photos, but the way it's built, especially with the 24-hour mode, I just love it. It took away other applications like Facebook Messenger. I don't use Instagram DMs anymore. I just use Snapchat because of that's what I like in terms of a messenger. Oof. I must put the original snaps in the S as well. I mean, without that, Snapchat wouldn't exist. So for me to put them lower than the blue messages, I think I would not be a valued member in the community if I did that. And from personal opinion, I think, the photos and videos is the app itself. That is the core. So we definitely got to put those up in the S's. What else have we got? Lenses. I'm going to put that in the S. Because not only has lenses given a ton of people careers in lens creation, but that also made the Snapchat camera special. That's what a lot of people come to the application for. And even if they don't send the message, they save it. The amount of times I've seen Snapchat filters outside the application, that just shows how far these lenses go. So yeah, definitely an S on that one. I feel like I'd be shot as well if I put that any lower. It's a really scary video to do, because it's judging all these little features that you wouldn't normally judge. Bitmoji, I'm going to also say is an S. I'm going to get most of the S's out there. I think, again, Bitmoji did a fantastic job bringing a new perspective to Snapchat in a caricature form way. I know that Bitstrips, which is technically Bitmoji, did it on Facebook first, but they didn't really push it, as Snapchat have made it basically 1 in 3 things you do on Snapchat. Without your Bitmoji, you're a stranger, basically, which is very, very confusing and scary when you see someone's little, well, not even an emoji because it's not even there, but just a coloured blob. The amount of people I try and poke go, make a Bitmoji. Obviously, I'd put spectacles up in probably the A category because obviously not everyone uses those. I don't have a picture for that one. The games I'm going to put in a B category. If you've not played Snapchat games, I'm not saying you're missing out, but they are good fun. They're already installed on your device because you don't have to install anything. That's what's nice about the games, is if you want to play them, you've got Snapchat, you have the games. What else have we got? The timer mode I'm going to put down in... I don't know. Let me know if you use the timer mode, because this is something I wanted in the application, and then when we got it, I never used it. But again, I don't put my phone on a tripod. I use this camera to take most of my photos if I'm going to be doing stuff like that. So for me, it was a good addition. It definitely allowed you to make more creative Snapchats, but again, I've not used it. I would use it if I needed it, so I'm going to put it in the C category. Stickers, I'm going to put up here in A. Obviously, that's these stickers here. I mean, these really do sell a Snapchat. Again, if you haven't got audio or a good caption and you just want to say goodnight using your Bitmoji, there's a sticker that's going to cover it. So I do love the stickers on Snapchat. I'm going to go Snap Map as a B. I think it's a good feature. It's used well, but it's not something if they got rid of it, I would miss. I mean, it is a good feature enough to keep it, but again, I don't think it's that A tier rated one. Looking at the list, we've got a fair few left. We've got the Snapchat profiles, which I'm also going to put at a B. Now, I'm only talking about the tier 1, and that's what we call it, tier 1 profile, that everyone has access to. Creator profiles and OLC profiles and verified, obviously they're a bit different, but we're talking about everyday features here. And I would say that profile was good. I was excited for it, but it never kicked off what I wanted it to do. I want to say thank you to Snapchat for giving everyone the opportunity to have a profile, because I feel like it was a needed thing. But what I wanted to use it for, which was mainly sharing my spectacles content, I can't do very well. So maybe that's just in a B because of my sort of opinion to that, but that's where I'm going to put it. But thank you, Snapchat, if you're watching, for putting that in. Memories, definitely an A category. I could live without it because I could save them to my camera roll, but I do love the fact that 1, they don't charge us for storage, and 2, every time I add something to my story, it goes on to memories, which is fantastic, where I get all my good Snapchats. There was another picture I was going to have here, which was the flashback feature that allows you to look at what you posted this time last year, the year before that, or how many years you've gone back on Snapchat. Ooh, group story, custom story, and, well, group chats, custom stories, and private story. I'm going to put private story in A because I love those. I think if you've got a really close-knit friendship group and you want to share some stuff on Snapchat to them without sending it to them, it's a good way of doing that. And I have something called Extra Source, which actually inspired another YouTube channel just because of the content I put on there. So definitely, it's not S, but I'm going to say A for that one. Custom story, however, I'm going to put in C. I don't think I'd miss it. I don't do many custom stories. It's pretty much the same as a private story, but your friends can add to that story as well. But I don't use it very often. Now, I don't know whether because the last year and a half I've not done many parties, weddings, you name it. That might be why it's so low, but it is a good feature. I miss Geo Story. That was one they got rid of where you could draw a fence or a fence was drawn for you. And if anyone was in that facility that was your friend or a friend of a friend, that was a feature, but that's gone. I thought I put sounds on there. Sounds, oh, I put timeline. I think timeline needs switching actually. Sounds was what I meant B. Timeline is A. So sounds was the music that I talked about earlier. Timeline, that is a bit like the TikTok editor. I think it was a must need. I use it a fair bit, but not very often. And I think it's because I don't do that style of video, but it was definitely something Snapchat needed. I couldn't call it, but I'm excited they've got it. So group chats, I'm going to put that up in the S, sorry. And the reasoning why, I think that bringing that again stopped me using other applications like Facebook, WhatsApp. And it was just nice that everyone's in there. There's those little emoji, little charms, which we'll come to in a minute. The charms really sold it to me to see what our friendships were like. As we're talking about charms, I'm going to put those up in the A. Charms are at the bottom of everybody's profile, of a friend's profile. And it tells you how I don't want to say how good your friendship is because that's not what it's trying to say, but it's trying to show you how, I don't even know, how good quality your friendship is. No, that's exactly what I was not trying to say. But it basically just shows how often you communicate with your friends, what your star sign compatibility is. There we go, got it in the end. They're not telling you have bad friendships, they're just showing you what your friendships are like on Snapchat, and they are just interesting to see. There's been a fair few of those, probably one of my favourite videos to bring to this channel. So we'll put them in the A because I think that really did make Snapchat about the friends, which is their motto. Compatibility star sign, there's a little bit in the profile now that you can view your friend's star sign, a little bit more advanced than the charms. I'm going to put that in C. Nice addition. I don't use it and I haven't viewed it since. The last time I viewed it was when I wanted to put it in this video, so I love it. I'm not into the star sign stuff, so I'm going to put it down there in the C. Snap score. I mean I like Snap score. I'm going to put it in the B. Because you can judge somebody by their active status on a Snap score, but the amount of people that judge me because I have a low Snap score in comparison to the average person, and it's because I use the blue messages more than I do the red and the purple. So I'm going to put it in the B because it's not crucial. The amount of people that think it is, but it is just literally to show how active you are really, but again, over what length of time, who knows? So I'm going to put that in the B in the middle. I wouldn't miss if it was gone. It didn't mean anything in the first place, so I'm going for that. Bounce. Now, for some of you, Bounce is Boomerang, basically, but it's Snapchat's version. It is only available on iPhone by the sounds of it. My good friend Newer always moans that he hasn't got it, so I assume it, and he uses Android, I assume it's not on all phones, but Bounce just allows you to basically go back and forward in a short video frame, a bit like this here. Or shortcuts. Oof. I'm going to put that in S. If you don't use shortcuts, you're missing out. Shortcuts to me made a massive difference when sending Snapchats to people. I can now categorize people by an emoji, so my football group would have the football emoji. The guys that watch F1 have the Formula 1 car, and the video games have the controller. So you can see what I mean. You can use these to tailor who you send Snapchats to. It was a quick way to get content out to your friends on Snapchat. And yes, it's probably a little bit high to be an S, but I think, that was a game changer. That one made a big difference. That made me go from streaks of 10 to streaks of 100. So I think for that, it's definitely something that needs to be up there. And if you don't use it, you're missing out. The way you find it is you pull down when you're on the send screen and you'll see there's a shortcuts bit at the top. Have made a full video about that if you're interested. My eyes only. Oh, interesting. So a bit like memories. I love memories. My eyes only. I mean, everybody knows what you store in my eyes only. I wouldn't miss it if it was gone. I'm going to put it in B. It's useful. There's a lot of issues with it. My most viewed video, I think, is about my eyes only. So I'm definitely going to say that that's got to go in the B. Because I wouldn't miss it if it had gone, but it is a good feature. It's a great way of storing things on the iPhone and Android securely without needing another app. As long as you don't forget the PIN, you're all good. So yeah, B for me on that one. So the last couple of features, I've got 3. There are more obviously in Snapchat, but these are the ones I wanted to pick on today, just as like general features. I think there's a few missing just from my computer not uploading them to the website. Obviously stories would be in the S. It definitely brought a new life to Snapchat, which is, you know, the 24-hour story. That would be with the Snap Map, and that again would be in the B. Big shout out to Youssef, because apparently he had big impact on that. Any other features I missed before we get into these last ones? I don't think so. So the first one is normal best friends. This is what we currently have in the application. You can have up to 8 best friends that, you know, rearrange themselves the more you talk to somebody. That, I'm definitely gonna put it in A. I think it is a very crucial feature. It's very hard to judge this between those top 3. Now, the last 2 features I have, I've got a little emoji at the bottom, a little crying face, and that's because they've gone. They've been removed from the application, and Snapchat knew or know that it is a loved feature, especially the original best friends. Now, for me to put that in the S would be wrong, because that's just basically saying that we got a worse version. I'm going to put that in the A, but if none of you, or if you've never seen or heard of the old best friends, it was so cool. It was like a ranking system with your friends, and you could tap on your friends' profile and you'd be able to see each one of their best friends, and it was like trying to see if you could topple to the top. And I used to have people argue and fight over my top position, and vice versa with other people as well. It was just fun. I don't know whether they removed it because of GDPR and you can see who people are talking. I don't know, but it was a definite brilliant feature, and I can't believe they got rid of it. If you look on the Snap Store, which is another feature I could have put in this video, which is where Snapchat sell their merchandise through Snapchat, there is a t-shirt that they've made saying, "I want best friends back," or something along the lines of that. So they know that it was a fantastic feature. And the final one, another video that brought this channel to sort of, not fame, but got everyone in the community to get to know who I was and what I'm doing in Snapchat, was trophies. I'm going to put it up in the A because I do miss it. It was a fun little thing to do. A lot of people think that trophies was replaced with charms. That's not true. It was just that I think they were just broken. Snapchat never came out why they removed it, but there was a lot of them that wouldn't trigger. If you go back to my video about trophies, you'll see that there's a lot of comments saying, "I can't get them to work, I can't get them to work." And they just weren't triggering. I don't know whether the development of the app changed and it caused a lot of problems, but that was basically what happened to trophies. And it was a sad day when they officially were gone. It was like, oh, that's half my childhood gone, or teenage years gone, because you spent a lot of time looking at those to try and achieve them, and you never knew what they were. You just had to go out and play with Snapchat and it would just appear. Funny one, verifying your telephone number, that was a trophy. But you know, these little cute emojis that sort of said, hey, you got more than your friends, and it was a little bit of a game. Some other things I could have mentioned are obviously the challenges like the Easter egg hunt. I'm not going to put that on there today. We were looking at more features. I am trying to think if there's anything else. I do loads of videos. Obviously, this has been the last 4 or 5 years of Snapchat there, including some of the legacy stuff. So that is my tier list. I am 100% happy with that. I would move them around in terms of order, but I hope you agreed with what I've said. So there we have it. That is my Snapchat feature tier list. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was definitely fun to bring. Weird sitting on the spot making these decisions. This has all been, you know, live basically. Obviously it's pre-recorded now, but it was all live. I've not edited it. I did not make any of these decisions beforehand. So the stress, and you could probably tell, it was all there. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you got to the end and enjoyed all of it, then let us know in the comment section below. Did I miss something? I was going to involve like the dark mode that could potentially be on the horizon. I'd put that in the A. Snap Cash, if any of you can remember that. Obviously a lot of the Americans will, because it was an American only thing. So there was loads of stuff I could have brought into it, but I wanted to look at the core features of what Snapchatters would use. Oh, Spotlight wasn't even in there. I'm going to put that at A. See, that's just the website though. I had loads more planned for that list, but obviously I had problems with it. So shout out to anyone who does tier lists, because that was very difficult, and I'm quite technically minded and I struggled. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. My name is Carl Lightning. If you're new around here, you can subscribe to the channel and follow us on our Snapchat journey and our social media journey. If you enjoyed today's video, then leave us a like, and like I said, let us know in the comment section below what you thought. As social media community members, your opinion does matter in the comment section, and we'd love to see what you have. I have a lot of friends that read the comments as well, because they're big Snapchatters. So just let us know what you think, and thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.